You've heard the news already a million times. Tucker Carlson was fired. It doesn't make any difference what the official statement from Fox and Tucker Carlson actually said. He was fired. You don't cost your company $757 million and keep doing the bullshit that helped get the company to that position to begin with. That just doesn't happen. As far as Don Lemon being terminated from his anchor role at CNN, that was a real kick in the gut. And having worked at CNN, still having friends there, I can tell you this, and you can take it to the bank. The new CEO at CNN, this Chris Licht, is a right-winger. And when he came to work for CNN, he made it clear to all the staff, all the executive producers, all the supervising producers, that CNN was going to take a turn to the right. Not like Fox or Newsmax or any of these other garbage networks, excuse me, but a turn to the right in order to try to calm down the idea out there that CNN is somehow a liberal network. CNN has never been a liberal network. MSNBC is a liberal network. CNN is not. I don't know if you saw it, but in some of the broadcast news that went out and some of the business news about this guy, it was made very clear that he was going to change the feel, the texture of CNN. That is the reason they got rid of Don Lemon. Not because Don Lemon made his snarky comment about, what's her name? Nikki Haley. And it was a snarky comment that he made. So what? I mean, you don't fire someone. He came back on the air and apologized. He just made a stupid comment about Nikki Haley when he said that she was no longer in her prime when she announced she was going to run for president. Lemon at the time said, quote, Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry, when a woman is considered to be in her prime, in her 20s, 30s, maybe her 40s. Okay, stupid shit statement. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know, he came back on the air and apologized for what he said. It was a dumb thing to say. He should have known better, right? But what CNN did to Don Lemon is just ungoddamn forgivable. Don Lemon found out he was terminated by CNN this morning. He found out from his agent. CNN did not even have the decency. After 17 years of Don Lemon being on that network, they didn't have the decency. This Chris Licht didn't even have the decency to call him up and let him know that he'd been terminated. Lemon himself said, quote, I'm stunned. After 17 years of CNN, I would have thought someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly, end quote. Well, the statement from Chris Licht this morning, or Light, however you pronounce his name, it's L-I-C-H-T. I don't really give a damn. But the CEO there, without notifying Don Lemon they were going to make the statement, they issued a statement that said the network and Lemon have, quote, parted ways, end quote. And the statement said this. I hate this kind of smarmy bullshit. It said, quote, Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. We wish him well, and we'll be cheering him on in his future endeavors. Oh, what a bunch of shit. Now, take it for someone who has been fired, as I have, from a couple of major broadcast operations over the course of my radio career. Those kinds of statements are bullshit. They're just total bullshit. Absolutely. Well, now, there was an asshole that was fired today, too. Mr. Tucker Carlson. Oh, what a shame. He'll probably be on Newsmax by tonight if they can afford to to pay him the kind of money that dear old Tucker Carlson is very used to getting for being the biggest goddamn liar in American media history. He's like Father Coughlin back in the 30s. He's like Tokyo Rose. He's like every propagandist that promotes anti-Semitism and racist bullshit and pro-Nazi propaganda. That's this jackass, Tucker Carlson. So, yeah, he'll wind up on some media outlet in this country. And something else you can take to the bank, he's not the only one who's going to go down the tube for what happened in the lawsuit that, CNN lost. I'm not, goddamn it, Fox absolutely lost. Sure, Dominion and Fox settled. But what do you call when your company has to pay $750 million settlement because you had lying son of a bitches on your air? And there's 3 more of them who've got to go. They've got to go. Tucker Carlson is just the first. I think the reason Tucker Carlson was the first was he was the most popular in terms of drawing the biggest audience. Anchor on that shithole of a network. So I think that what Murdoch is trying to do is, we'll toss Tucker to the wolves and see if that'll shut everybody up. Well, it's not going to. And especially there are more lawsuits coming in which Tucker Carlson is named as a specific target of a couple of these lawsuits. So this is called Cut Your Losses for Fox. This dumb bastard cost them $750 million. So I guess they figured, hey, we can't go through this shit again, get rid of him. Of course, that's not going to stop any lawsuit or prevent a jury from, if a jury's impaneled, if Murdoch doesn't settle like he always does, if a jury's impaneled, firing Tucker Carlson today is not going to change the outcome of a jury verdict. But anyway, in a statement, the Fox suer said this morning, quote, Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. No, they didn't. We thank him for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a contributor. End quote. See what I mean? Now, Tucker was on last Friday night, I guess. And according to reports, he gave no indication he was leaving on Friday. And the Fox suer was still running promos for his show this morning. So this was very abrupt. I think it came as a result of maybe somebody in marketing who said, this son of a bitch has got to go. So his firing comes less than a week after Fox settled that defamation suit from Dominion Voting Systems. And they settled. One of the reasons the Fox suers settled was because they didn't want these assholes from their network, like Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity and the rest of these scum. Fox did not want these people testifying under oath on the witness stand, because it would have revealed just what a Nazi organization this goddamn Fox family is running. But if you remember all the shit that hit the fan, when was it, a couple of weeks ago, all of Tucker Carlson's private messages were among the hundreds of internal communications made public in the course of the lawsuit. And another reason that they got rid of him, I think, is because Murdoch knows that they have lost huge numbers to Newsmax and these other shithole networks. And when information came out, when the memos came out that showed Tucker Carlson thought Donald Trump was an asshole and they couldn't stand him and so on and so forth, that's going to cause an awful lot of these brain-dead assholes, the MAGA types, to migrate from Fox to Newsmax or some other shithole of a sewer network. So it's called cutting your losses. Carlson said he passionately hates the orange Nazi. But it was Tucker Carlson's comments about Fox management, and this came out during the Dominion case, that probably, assuredly played a role in his being fired. A person who didn't want to be identified said that those comments about Fox management was what kind of tore it for the Tucker boy. Carlson wrote to a colleague in a message a day after Fox called the election for Joe Biden, all the way back in 2020. He said, quote, "Do the executives understand how much credibility and trust we've lost with our audience?" End quote. And in another message, the Tucker boy referred to management with an expletive. Here it comes. He said this, quote, "Those fuckers are destroying our credibility." Now, he's referring to the Murdoch family. "Those fuckers are destroying our credibility. A combination of incompetent liberals and top leadership with too much pride to back down is what's happening." End quote. Now, something that you may not have known, Tucker doesn't work in the studios in Midtown Manhattan. He worked from a remote studio in Maine. And so far, as of this afternoon when I'm recording this show, there's no response to his firing. And this is one thing that you always know when somebody's being cashiered as a last-minute thought, where somebody in management says, "Get rid of that fucker now." And that is, he was not given a chance to say goodbye to this huge audience that he had stacked up in his years as the number one lying son of a bitch in American television media. And also his executive producer, a little prick named Justin Wells, is also leaving the network. And Fox said that his precious time slot, 8 p.m., will be filled by, quote, "rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named," end quote. Oh, my God. And according to the Washington Post, when Tucker got going, he eclipsed Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity used to be the number one anchor number one liar, I should say, at Fox after what's his name left? Who is that crazy bastard who now Bill O'Reilly. So when they fired Bill O'Reilly, then Tucker moved into that spot. And like Hannity, Tucker became an occasional confidant of Trump. And in March 2020, Tucker visited Trump at Mar-a-Lago to warn him that the coronavirus needed to be taken seriously. Yeah, okay. What else? Oh, his Fox News colleagues, according to the Washington Post, were stunned by the departure, which seemed to come out of the blue. You guys weren't paying attention, were you? One stunned staffer told the Washington Post, a condition of anonymity to share private insights into the newsroom, said, quote, "We're just learning of this like everyone else. Total surprise on my end." And end quote. And then some other on-air personality, you can guess who it was, said, quote, "This is major. It sends a message that even the guy with the highest ratings of all, by a long shot, doesn't get to survive this disaster," end quote. Well, Sean, you better go to the cloakroom there at Fox and start packing up your shit. Oh, God, Tucker Carlson. Oh, poor baby. He will wind up very soon. You will see him as the Minister of Information for the American Nazi Party. I don't think there's any doubt of that happening. I really don't. Tucker Carlson is he is the definitive Nazi. He would have been in Hitler's inner circle. So he can't give up his persona, his American Nazi Party persona. He can't do it. Tucker is not going to change into anything. He is what he is. He's in his 50s, for Christ's sake. So he will probably wind up as a very prominent figure in the American Nazi Party. He will also wind up probably on some bullshit little sewer network that will then explode with new listeners because Tucker is there. And this is another reason you can understand what a big decision this was for Fox. You know, they say money talks, bullshit walks. Tucker cost them too much money. And they knew that in firing him, he is going to go and take his 3 million listeners with him, or viewers with him. Fox knows this. The Murdochs know this. But you don't cost your boss $750 million because you have a rat hole for a mouth and because you're a lying son of a bitch. That's okay. Be a liar. Just don't cost us any money. We love your lies. Just don't cost us any money. Say what you want. Go ahead. Stir up the maggots. Just don't cost us any money. And for some reason, his arrogance, his Nazi brain mindset, I don't know, but for some reason, Tucker Carlson forgot the primary directive in broadcast media. Don't cost us any money. Period. No, not period. Exclamation point. That is the prime directive for every media company in America. Once they're anchors or reporters, I mean, you've seen this. You've seen this happen over and over again, where an anchor or a media personality will make some kind of a dumb shit statement or make a claim about something he did that was supposed to be heroic, and then it turns out to be a lie, or the statement turns out to be just offensive enough that it generates, in this age of instant response, it generates just enough negativity that the financial officers at these networks lose their shit completely. Oh my God, get rid of him quick. He's going to cost us listeners, which means he's going to cost us ad revenue, which means, oh my God, we can't have that. Fire the bastard. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.